Hello, everyone, and back to another episode of Off the Court. I'm your host, Paris, and we are back. We were not here last week. We have had some changes within the programming for Off the Court. We have had some adjustments that we're making, and we are fully integrated with our new programs now. So we wanted to give this opportunity. We were hoping we weren't going to need to do it like towards the end of the season, but here we are. We've made those changes. We've switched to the platforms that are going to better suit us longevity wise. And we are so excited to do that. 2026 is going to be a very big year for Off the Court podcast. We are actually going to be going back to our original format. If you guys have been with us for the past year and a half, you would know that we started this podcast as an all-round sports podcast. I myself love Australian rules football. I love tennis. I love basketball. I love surfing. There are so many different sports that I love to cover. I love to talk about. And we had a few different things kind of put on the table for 2026. And the reason I'm telling you guys this now is because I really wanted to take a moment to share with you guys about the power of change and that it is okay to change your mind. It is okay to make different decisions. It is okay to change. Now, with that being said, some of you know that we were covering, plenty of different sports. And we are still going to keep covering plenty of different sports. We're going to go back to our original format. We're going to go back to talking about all things sport. So on Wednesdays, we are going to have Wednesday sport recaps from the previous weekend. We are going to cover whatever is important in the sporting community that week, whether it's tennis, whether it's F1, whether it is AFL, NRL, NFL, basketball. Like, we are going to cover it. We are going to have fun with it. We are going to have some amazing guests. And another reason why I have decided, or the team has decided to go back to that platform, is because we really wanted to be able to share some amazing guests with you guys. There's some amazing stories that we have found over the course of the last year and a half, whether that be through tennis, AFL, NBA, whatever it be. We have met and connected with so many amazing individuals who have such incredible stories to tell, whether they are, ranked 1200 in the world in tennis, or number 20 in tennis, or in, they're a rookie in the AFL, or they're a premiership player. We have so many stories that we want to share, some questions we want to ask them, and things that you guys want to ask them as well that you guys may not get the opportunity to ask in a general environment just by watching them on your screen, on an oval from the stands, however it might be. So I wanted to kind of set that message as we wrap up the end of this season. We obviously do have just tennis to cover for the next 1.5-ish episodes. This episode and the final one for the year, which will be next week. So I'm excited to kind of wrap up the season. I'm excited to take a look back at some of the fun moments from this year. Next week's episode will be sort of like a little bit of a look back episode as well, to kind of look at what's been the most fun in the tennis world for the past year. We've had some Wimbledon wins, we've had some iconic comebacks, we've had some sad injuries, we've had a lot of different things. So with that being said, and keeping in mind that today's episode is still going to be just about tennis, we are going to dive in to talking to you guys about the Paris Rolex Masters and the WTA finals. We are at that tail end of the year. Obviously, the Paris Masters did begin earlier on this week, on the 27th of October. At the time of recording this, it is Saturday, November 1st, to release on Sunday, and they finish up tomorrow. We've had a really great draw, some really great matchups. If you guys have been keeping up with it, you will have seen some amazing matches. We've had Diminor make it to the quarterfinals, Medvedev, Zverev, Ben Shelton, Yannick Sinner, Vacherot, Auger-Aliassime. Mind you, might I add, Auger-Aliassime is having such an incredible last half of the year. I don't know whether it's that marriage glow up or just some changes in a team or no changes in a team and just amazing diet. I'm not sure. Every player has their thing. Every player peaks at a different time. But I think from what I've seen in the last in the last week with the Masters is that, like in tennis, everything is unpredictable and everything is predictable, right? We have the idea of who we think is going to win, who we want to win, but then we have life and reality that comes into it. Tournaments, weather, all these different elements, right? How you're feeling on the day. You might be feeling 100% one day and 45% the next day. But, one day you might have a fourth round match. The next day you might have, a semi-final. So it really just depends where you are and what's happening. But it's really nice to see some of these players that have been on the cusp. Bublik, Auger-Aliassime. Obviously, Sasha Zverev is having a rather tough last part of the year. But then, of course, you still have, some big upsets like we had earlier. We had Carlos Alcaraz out in the second round against Cameron Norrie. So there's some things that you don't expect. There's things you expect. Now, with Carlos Alcaraz being knocked out so early on, Yannick Sinner is now looking like he will, if he wins, it looks like he will finish year-end number 1. Of course, there is still the ATP finals in Nito. Speaking of that, Taylor Fritz has qualified for the ATP finals. Djokovic, we still don't know whether he will play or not. He has qualified. And that's kind of where we're at with that. But yeah, another great week in Paris. Another amazing moment. So let's look at the finals. So the final, is Auger-Aliassime and Yannick Sinner. Let's look at their head-to-head. Head-to-head, it's 2 apiece. So it is even Stevens. You got the 25-year-old versus the 24-year-old, number 10 versus number 2. And yes, I am very excited to see and say that, Auger-Aliassime is ranked number 10 in the world now, which wasn't the case at the beginning of the year. But there has been some shifts and some changes. Obviously, Grigor Dimitrov has re-injured himself, so he will be stepping off for the rest of the season. Holger Rune is out for quite an extensive time, probably majority of 2026 season. And that's kind of where we're at on that front. Tommy Paul has not returned to form either. He is still injured. So there's a few players that you won't probably see at all the rest of this year. In fact, you won't see them the rest of this year. But as we move forward to the end, we've got, this one final tournament coming up, plus the Davis Cup. So with that being said, we will see what happens between tomorrow's finalists, shall I say today's finalists later on today due to the time difference. I'm actually going to go with Auger-Aliassime, to be perfectly honest, because I really think that he is just kind of crushing it right now. Yannick is obviously doing really well as well, but I think that's just, you never really know. So that's the Paris Masters covered. Let's go ahead and take a look at some latest news. There is, I think we've got one more. Yeah, we have the tournament in Athens, actually, which is a 250 and a 250 in France before the finals. But let's see. I think Djokovic is playing. Yeah, Djokovic is playing in at the Hellenic Championship. Now, for you guys who are not familiar, this is the tournament that got moved from Belgrade that Djokovic and his family did run. So that's now moved to Athens, Greece. And that is obviously starting tomorrow for I think 3 days. We've got Nakashima, Giron, Deirdre, some Greek wildcards, Riley Opelka, Alexei Poprin, Sebastian Korda, Fernley, Keshmanovic, Mueller, Etcheverry, Stanislas Wawrinka got a wild card, Van der Schulps, and Lorenzo Musetti. So you've got quite a mix of players, from top-seeded players to former Grand Slam champions in Stan Wawrinka. So you've got a lot going on there. So make sure you guys do pay attention to that. It's only for a few days. If you want to get some more tennis in to your schedule before you go and watch the ATP finals, the Davis Cup, the next gen ATP finals, which are the end of December as well. So a lot to look forward to. Let's give you guys a rankings update, because we haven't done that in a couple of weeks. And some things have shifted, some things have changed. So right now, the live rankings, as we look at them, Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner. However, though, there is that gap, like we said, if Jannik Sinner is able to win, he will topple over Carlos Alcaraz, because Alcaraz has lost 90 points for losing weight earlier in the tournament. So Alcaraz, Sinner, Zverev, Fritz, Novak Djokovic at 5, Ben Shelton at 6, up 1 spot as well. Alex de Minaur down, Auger Aliassime will go up to number 8 in the world as of Monday. Lorenzo Musetti, Casper Ruud, Jack Draper, Medvedev, Bublik, Davidovich Fokina, Rune, Rublev, Lehechka, Kashnikov, Mensik, and Paul. So that rounds out your top 20. And then below that, we've got the likes of Cerundolo, Caboli, Shapovalov, Fonseca, Griekspoor, Dederi, Nuri, Rindikesh, Tiafo, and Mutet. Valentin Vucheriot, and then Mutet. So that rounds out your top 30, really gives you guys like a little look at what is happening, what is coming up. But that is pretty much it in terms of the men's tournaments. In terms of the race to Turin, Djokovic has already qualified. Fritz qualified. It looks like Ben Shelton may qualify. We'll get back to you guys on that next week for sure. But that's where it is sitting right now. We are going to go and jump into the women's side of things right now. Quite a few things going on. We have obviously the WTA finals in Riyadh, but before we get to that, let's take a little bit of a recap on what happened the last couple of weeks. We're going to take a little look at China real quick. All right, Blinkova, Tagger, Ponstevia out, Parks, Kabolik, Bai. But it looks like we have a semi-final and we have a final between Blinkova and Tagger. So that'll be interesting. We have, see one more really quickly. Hong Kong, which is happening right now. If you are in Hong Kong and you want to check out any of the fun events, it is on for one more day. Maboko has taken out Fernandez in the semi-final, and Buska has taken out Joint, so that will be the final between Maboko and Buska. And then, of course, where the main event is, we had day 2 in Riyadh, so it started yesterday. Get your tickets, get there, get in the vibe. If you're in Riyadh, please go. It is one of the best tournaments in the world, on one of the greatest stages in the world, in one of the best countries in the world. Saudi Arabia. So make sure you guys go and check it out. Have some fun. You've got all of your top players there. We are going to take a look at the draw really quickly. And of course, if you guys don't know, it is a round robin format. All right, so we have the Stephanie Graf group and the Serena Williams group. In the Steffi Graf group, Sabalenka, Goff, Pegula, Paolini. Serena Williams group, Swiatek, Rybakina, Anisimova, and Keys. Obviously, Keys did lose earlier today to Swiatek. Let's take a look at what else happened. And Anisimova lost to Rybakina. So they were the first two matches up. Tomorrow you will see... you'll see the doubles coming up, and then you'll see Sabalenka, Paolini, not before 5 p.m. local time. And then Goff and Pegula, plus then some more doubles action after that. So we've got doubles, single, single, double, okay? Arena Sabalenka has also celebrated her second straight season as WTA year-end #1. Let's see how she goes, see how she moves in her match tomorrow, but I have no doubt that she will be able to get through that. Sarah Irani and Paolini have won their Open WTA's finals as well. It is singles and doubles, so please keep that in mind. There is some practice streams that you can see, and also if you guys want to know where to watch it, you guys can watch it wherever you watch tennis. You can also get live up-to-date scores at wtatennis.com/tournaments WTA finals. With that being said, there is not too much more to cover tonight, but we will go ahead and take a look at any wider distant tennis news that has come in over the past couple of days. So Novak Djokovic is eyeing post-tennis career with new brand after a latest retirement claim. Not sure how that is going to work out. American tennis villain has gone viral after he tells short men to steer clear. Danielle Collins, who blew kisses to booing Aussie fans at Melbourne Park in January, has stunned and said she would be open to being the Bachelorette. This is news to me because I last thought that she had a partner. Obviously, that is no longer the case. Hold on, guys. Let's see what the latest news is on Grigor. Yeah, so it looks like we won't see Grigor anytime at all for the rest of this year. That is unfortunate, but it is life and it is the way things go. That pretty much sums up everything that we have to share with you guys today. What I do want to do is I want to give a massive shout out on next week's episode to all of our sponsors for this season and the past year who have worked with us. Obviously, covering tennis is a full-time job. It is a full-time sport. As you guys know, whether you play or whether you're a fan of the sport, there is a tournament on at least every single day, bar a few calendar days like major holidays or Christmas. There is usually a tournament somewhere in the world on any given day. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors for this week. We love working with our sponsors. We have some really new amazing sponsors to share with you guys next year, but for now I do want to give a massive shout out to Preply. Of course, if you guys don't know Preply, it is an online language learning service. You can learn from over 200 different languages. They allow you to do so from the comfort of your own home with whatever device that you choose, whether you're looking to find a tutor, brush up be fluent, whatever it is. They also have an opportunity for you to become a tutor if that is something you are interested in. And it really, really helps get your language learning journey moving. So whether you are looking to learn Spanish, French, Italian, Indonesian, whatever it may be, they have it there for you. And they also only allow people into their space and into their tutor program that actually love what they're doing, know what they're doing, and also are fluent in that language, meaning native as well. So with that being said, you guys can hit the link below to get 50% off your first session with Preply. And of course, one of our new sponsors, Pink Koala KOSSIES. For those ladies out there who are looking for some fun swimwear that also gives back, they have worldwide shipping. They are an Aussie brand, eco-friendly bikinis, and they give back to wildlife through the 1% Change program. So make sure you guys go ahead and click the link below to get yourself some Pink Koala KOSSIES. The description and the discount code is also in the description, shall I say. They have some pretty new collections. They've got yellow, pink, blue, whatever it is that you guys are looking for. Make sure you go check them out. I couldn't agree more that there's nothing better than a brand that has some substance, it has some personality, but not only that, it also gives back. To me, one of the most important things when it comes to picking brands or sponsors that we work with here at Off the Court, it is really, really important to me and to the team that we support brands who give back, whether that be giving back to you guys as a community or giving back to wildlife conservation. In this case, whatever it is, we really like that, and we are really selective. That's why you will never see us have 20 sponsors per episode or working with brands that we just don't support. It's simply not our style. It's never been my style. If you guys follow me on social media personally, you will know that I barely ever talk about a brand unless I have used them for an extremely long time, or unless it is a festival or other sort of brand that I'm working with that I know the people personally. So that's just me. And that's how we like to keep it here at Off the Court as well. So with that being said, guys, go check out Pink Koala KOSSIES, and make sure if you want to brush up on your language, head over to Preply to find out more. I hope you guys have a really beautiful and safe rest of your week. First of all, I also will say happy Halloween, even though it was technically yesterday. Halloween is also my favorite time of year. I love it. Definitely have had some candles going, some fun little pumpkin things happening. But of course, you know how it is. As soon as it clocks over to November 1st, which is today, everybody's about the Christmas spirit. So Christmas time it is upon us. Obviously, we have a few things coming up, but we cannot wait to share with you guys next week, and we will be back. So enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.